So they keep joining. So there was a half an hour break from 12 to
Okay.
12:30.
Okay.
First session was from 10 to 12 on direct
Okay.
access, that was taken by Nitin Vaid, partner, Price Waterhouse, and
Okay.
now
Okay.
it's the GST session.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. So maybe we can wait for a minute and then
Not an issue.
we can
Not an
start.
issue. Not an issue.
Right. Thank you.
We'll just wait for 2 minutes, sir. Then, with your permission, sir, we can start.
All right. Not an
Yeah.
issue. Not an issue. Oh.
Dr. Anjali, I think we can start now. Uh,
Please, people will
okay.
join in a while. We
Sure,
can
sure,
start. Yeah.
sure. A very good afternoon to all friends. It is indeed a pleasure for me to introduce CA Bimal Jainji, the speaker for the day on GST. Bimal Jainji needs no introduction, but it's my duty to give a brief introduction of him. He's a very star speaker in our chartered accountant fraternity, and all of you, those who practice GST, know him. He has delivered so many lectures. He's serving the profession. Uh, he's a member of ICI since 1994 and a member of Institute of Company Secretary also since December 2006, along with a bachelor's degree in law. So that's a rare combination. A CA and CA, CS, and a law graduate. Besides, he's also a qualified SAP FICO consultant, which is again very rare combination of technology and chartered accountancy profession. And he has more than 21 years of experience in indirect taxation, and he specializes in all aspects of service tax, VAT, CST, GST, the foreign trade policy, special economic zone, export oriented unit, export import laws, and is well equipped in the concept and impact of entire gamut of GST. He's working for more than 18 years for renowned companies like LG, Honda, Hindustan Development Corporation Limited, Hitan and Company, and presently he is the executive director of A to Z. As the name suggests, A to Z. He is a master of all aspects of the indirect taxation. His firm is a boutique indirect tax firm. He has hands-on experience in providing opinion and advisory services, carrying out diagnostic review of business operations, process review, structuring of business model, undertaking litigation service at all appropriate forum, including the CSTAT representation before the TRU, that is the Tax Research Unit, CBEC, DGFT, etc., for various matters concerning to trade, industry, and commerce. He is the chairman of Indirect Tax Committee of PSD Chamber of Commerce, chairman of the Corporate Advisory Committee of IPM Group of Institutions, member of Indirect Tax Committee of SOCHM as well as FICCI, special invitee on Indirect Tax Committee of our beloved ICAI as well as ICSI, and member of eminent faculties in Indirect Tax Committee of ICI, ICSI, and Institute of Cost Accountant of India. Thank you so much, Vimalji, for sparing out time. And I would now like that you enlighten the friends with your words of wisdom. Thank you so much, and over to you.
So let's start.
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yes.
At the outset, let me thank CA Dr. Sanjeev Singhal, Dr. Anjali Gupta, all the learned professors from Ramanuj College and the professional colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you, rather good afternoon. I know in the first morning session, you have taken deliberation on direct access, and this is on indirect access. So I'm greeting each one of you, and I will try my best without giving PowerPoint presentation. I really want that each one of you should get involved. Ask as many questions as you got for the concept. I will definitely try my best to make GST good and simple tax. I do not know to what extent you are learned in GST, but I will make it in a layman language. Rest assured, whatever I'm going to discuss today, I will discuss in a perspective as if you are discussing that subject matter. So you need not require to bother about that technical provision. All technical queries will go around. No, it is practical today. And you can answer whatever coming to your mind. Feel free to participate. Whatever answer coming to your mind, do not hesitate to write back in your chat box. We will try from both way, from my side and from your side, to make GST good and simple for understanding sake today. Topic given to me, supply, intricacies of supply, including composite supply and mixed supply. I will definitely do what I will request. If you can take a paper and pen all along with you and just make a small note, brief note, point by point, so that you get a clarity. What is the point I'm discussing? How it is relevant, and just enjoy this 1 hour presentation today. Relax, cool off, take a cup of tea or coffee in front of you. It's a Sunday afternoon, and immediately after my presentation, you will go for lunch. Rest assured, I will try my best to make it interactive one, lucid one. I only need your participation. If you can just give me 1 hour of yours today, I will definitely try my best to give a flavor of GST so that you can get the test to develop further. Let me start with, I got lot many professional colleagues also. Those who are following me on CA Fraternity platform, CS Fraternity platform. Alongside, I got all learned professors who are joining, and they are joining for understanding of GST. I will try to make it simple. With all due regards and respect to all the professors who are joining today, my only humble submission that for this 1 hour you become a student and try your best, whatever best you can do from your side. Whatever answer coming to your mind, please apply your mind and answer it, irrespective of fact whether the answer is correct or wrong. I really want this session should be interactive session and best of the session of total this certification course. I want this would be the bestest one. So help me out, walk the talk. We both will try to make it interactive, lucid, and exemplary for understanding sake. Let me start with. When
Sir, excuse me, sir, questions will be coming up in your Q&A box and chat box, sir.
my chat box is open,
Yes, sir.
anyone can post any query in a chat box.
Yes, sir. And even Q&A box is also there for you. So you can
Uh,
use that also for the purpose of questions, sir.
I will request participants to use the chat box because this chat box is visible to me. Otherwise, I need to switch chat box and question answers.
Okay, sir.
I will request participants to post their query in a chat box rather than question answer session. Because
Yes,
I've opened my chat box simultaneously, I can see the questions coming in, answers coming in. I will definitely answer. Okay. So we will do in chat box. Thank you, Madam Suganya.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Let me start with.
Thank you. Thank you.
GST got introduced July 1, 2017. We all know about it. When GST got introduced, it was pre-GST taxes. You know, there are 4 parameters. If tomorrow you are being asked why GST got introduced in the country, you would be answering the 4 important parameters. Whenever you are being posted a query, why GST got introduced in the country? The first one, that multiplicity of taxes subsumed in one basket. 17 indirect taxes and 23 cess merging into one basket. Just imagine a situation that 23 cess and 17 indirect taxes merge into one basket. Multiplicity of taxes goes away. First advantage. These are the reason why GST got introduced. Second, we were struggling with the double taxation in pre-GST. Double taxation, for simplicity, in pre-GST, if you were going to a restaurant for lunch or dinner, or even to McDonald's to buy a burger, on 30 rupees burger, full VAT chargeable, and on 40% of 30 rupees service tax was chargeable. Double taxation. We got other double taxation item like IT software services. Oracle and SAP used to charge VAT and service tax both together. So we were in a dilemma in pre-GST whether the transaction is a supply of goods or supply of services. But we were ending up paying double taxes. Construction, works contract services, right to use services. I'm giving you the example. These were liable to double taxation. In GST, there's a clarity. A transaction can either be supply of goods or supply of services, but cannot be both. Hence, we have done away with double taxation. If at all I am posting this query to all of you, by which provision, or those who are learned, they can answer. In case you don't know, there's nothing to worry about. I said in GST that the clarity, a transaction can either be supply of goods or supply of services. Like I gave the example of restaurant, I talked about construction, I talked about works contract, liable to double taxation, pre-GST. Now these transactions are clarified. This transaction can either be supply of goods or supply of services. Your first question for your understanding, restaurant, which was chargeable to both VAT and service tax. What is the treatment in GST regime? You're going for dining out or lunch. So you are taking food in the restaurant, and let's say amount is 5,000 rupees. Whether this would be supply of goods or supply of services in GST, please tell me. So there's one Mr. Sanjeev Madan and Rajesh Justi saying service. Yes, it is a supply of service. Nand Tuteja is also saying supply of service. Where from you come to know? Next question. Where from you come to know this is supply of service? Which provision of GST is really hinting you or telling you that this is supply of service? Please tell me, under which provision, Richa? So Lokeshwar, I do agree that everyone is writing the supply of service. Agreed, your answer is correct, no denial. But under which provision? The first answer, Amir Khan and Nand Tuteja, they have given answer schedule 2 in GST regime. Okay, Neha is going a step further. She is saying section 7 subsection 1. Neha, to make you correct, it is section 7 subsection 1A. 1A of CGST Act. By schedule 2, a transaction can either be supply of goods or supply of services. So if I'm correcting something like I corrected to Neha, don't take personally, but for our understanding sake. Schedule 2 is the important one, which specify a transaction can either be supply of goods or supply of services. There are total 18 entries, 1-8 in schedule 2. And out of 18, 5 are being classified as a supply of goods and 13 are being classified as a supply of services. So what happened for the works contract services? Construction of building, repair, renovation, And in construction, you got major components, cement and iron steel. So if it is construction of new building, where major component is cement and iron steel, what is the treatment in GST as a supply of goods or supply of services? Posting a query to you, and Schedule 2 clarifies what is the treatment. Please tell me works contract, which is construction services, supply of goods or supply of services. Please write. Okay, Rajani is saying supply of service. Amir is once again back. Supply of service, yes, it is supply of service. So second point, why GST got introduced? To done away with the double taxation. And where from we are getting clarity? Under section 7, subsection 1A of CGST Act by Schedule 2. Third question. We were struggling with the cascading of taxes in pre-GST. Cascading means tax on tax. Like manufacturer of goods used to charge central excise duty, of which no credit was available in the hands of VAT dealer. VAT dealer charging VAT to a service provider, no credit in the hands of service provider, or vice versa, service provider charging service tax to a VAT dealer, no credit available, vice versa. And there were many other item credit was not available, like CST, entry tax, luxury tax, entertainment tax credit was not available. So tax on tax. Problem was, these were making our pricing incompetitive. Now, if I ask one question to you, I know that GST got introduced to done away with the cascading of taxes. Certainly, yes, no denial to it. But what is your take? Cascading is completely done away in GST? What would be your answer if this question is being posted to you, that cascading of taxes is completely done away in GST? Tell me. No. So Rajesh is saying no. Arpit is saying no. Nandbika is saying no. Yes, they are right. Because there are 5 specified petroleum products which is need of any manufacturing sector or service sector: petrol, diesel, natural gas, aviation turbine fuel, and crude petroleum. Is not under GST, which is being used by manufacturing sector and service sector. On that pre-existing, pre-GST taxes like VAT and central excise leviable, of which no credit available. So cascading is still continuing. Can you tell me another region which you believe is creating cascading in GST? My next question, apart from petroleum product, can you tell me in a chat box, for what region in GST cascading continuing? Please tell me. I want to see the answer in a chat box. Liquor business for human consumption, yes, out. But apart from this, liquor business is totally out of GST. Very well, Rajesh. But tell me some other region which is very good region, that even though GST got introduced with the concept seamless flow of credit, but still within the GST law, they have created something which is creating cascading. Anyone? Richard, not tobacco leaves. You have to really come back to a point, because I will come back to those points, but there's a broader analogy, Richard. For that region, I'm telling you that still cascading continuing. Let's say I'm getting my office constructed. I'm giving example to you. No, liquor and petroleum, Anupam, no, I do not agree. I'm giving example for your understanding sake. No, Santosh Kumar, this is not, you are giving some to the extent right answer, but that there are broad analogy, which you need to understand. What is that broad analogy? I'm just giving, helping you out with an example. Okay, so Suganya is coming back and saying bricks and cement for construction of building. Not only this, Suganya, I'm helping you all. There's one provision called negative list in ITC, input tax credit. 17 subsection 5. 17 subsection 5. Under section 17 subsection 5, there's a provision, even though you purchase goods and services in the course of furtherance of business, still credit is not available, like construction of immovable property. Motor vehicle, you're purchasing motor vehicle and this motor vehicle going to be used only for the business purpose, no credit. So you can always debate why this cascading in GST, but 17 subsection 5 of CGST Act is giving list of the item on which no credit available, even though it is used in the course of furtherance of business. I hope you got it. So this is the concept which I wanted to pass on. Yes, mobile tower, rightly said. So you may check out, there are three basic reasons. I said last one, why GST got introduced. In pre-GST, we were divided into 31 state. Daily VAT provision was not applicable in UP, just in Noida. Or Noida, UP VAT provision not applicable in Gurgaon, Haryana VAT. We were divided into 31 states, like 31 countries within the Union Territory of India. GST has introduced a big concept which is called one nation, one tax. I normally say GST law is a Gita, Bible, and Quran, irrespective of any language, religion, race, and caste, applicable from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. If you know what is the GST provision in Delhi, you can handle GST matter of any state, but pre-GST, this was not possible. Kerala used to have their own VAT provision. Karnataka used to have their own VAT provision, and language-wise, you know, West Bengal, Bengali, Odisha is Odia. So pre-GST, we were not one nation, one tax. But today, if you know what is the GST provision in Delhi, in Ramanuj College, then you know what is the GST provision from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. One nation, one tax. So first tagline, which you must know, if you are being posted this query, why GST got introduced in the country, your answer would be, first, multiplicity of taxes gone away. 17 indirect tax, 23 cess. Double taxation gone. Cascading to certain extent gone, but still continuing in GST provision. And in realistic term, GST become one nation, one tax, irrespective of any language, religion, race, and caste. Why so? If you know GST provision in Delhi, okay, so Anupam is asking one question. What is the difference between double tax and cascading? He's asking this query to me. Let me answer in a very simplistic way. On 100 rupees, let's say my ERP software, I'm supplier of ERP software being Oracle and SAP. On 100 rupees, if I charge VAT, which is chargeable on goods, and if I charge service tax, which is chargeable on services. So in pre-GST, there were certain transactions where both VAT and service tax was leviable. It is called double taxation. And what is cascading? Cascading in simplistic way, whatever you are purchasing and you are paying tax. Let's say you're a VAT dealer, you're not manufacturer. You are the VAT dealer, value added tax. If you purchase goods from a manufacturer, then manufacturer used to charge central excise duty and VAT. VAT dealer can at most take credit of the VAT charged by a manufacturer, but credit was not available for central excise duty. So this central excise duty becomes part of my costing on which no credit available. And when subsequently I'm selling the product and charging VAT, then VAT was calculated inclusive of central excise duty. That is called cascading. Anupam, I hope with Anupam, I have given this explanation difference of double taxation versus cascading. All right. So Anupam is saying a perfect, sir. I hope all the participants got it. So there is another participant asking me, sir, how GST is helpful to common people. He's asking this question, and this is question of not Srinivasa Murthy. This question is being asked by millions of Indian citizens with a GST helping the country. Yes, helping the country. Srinivasa, for simple point, cascading gone. You were used to calculate VAT component on central excise duty, benefit. Double taxation not there. And one nation, one tax. If you do the ballpark calculation of particular supply of goods or services, comparing the taxes leviable in pre-GST, comparing the GST leviable in GST scenario, you will get definitely, I'm telling you, benefit. Because earlier pre-GST regime, credit was not available on number of count, like CST, luxury tax, entry tax, entertainment tax. In GST, I know cascading to the extent of section 17, subsection 5 is continuing, petroleum product continuing. But if you do the comparable analysis, you will find 99% benefit when you look at the pricing becoming competitive and beneficial when you do the calculation of pre-GST versus post-GST. That would be my answer. Srinivasa, so topic is my different, but I have analyzed the aspect and explained to all of you. So 4 parameter. Now coming to the second discussion of the day. My second discussion is, in GST, we all know that GST going to be levied on supply of goods or services or both. So there are 3 terms important: supply, goods or services. Now what is supply? Very important for all of us. There is one chargeable section, and whenever you look at any indirect tax, there will be chargeable section, chargeability. In pre-GST, no, Amir, you are incorrect. Amir, it is not chargeable section. So before I ask this question, Amir Khan responded that section 7 is the chargeable section. No, totally incorrect. I will reply. I will give the answer to it. Okay. So Amir is now correcting, saying sorry, it's section 9. Yes, pre-GST, central excise was applicable on manufacturing of goods, manufacturing. Service tax was leviable on rendering of services. VAT and CST was leviable on sale of goods within the state, intrastate, VAT, interstate from one state to another state, CST, all gone in GST. In GST, there is only one chargeable section and only one taxable event. And what is that taxable event? Supply. Supply. Section 9, subsection 1 is the chargeable section, clearly saying, Bimal, there would be CGST and SGST on all intrastate supply, within state supply, within state. CGST and SGST. If it is interstate, from one state to another state, then IGST and section which is chargeable section 5 subsection 1 of IGST Act. Normally, GST to be charged by a supplier of goods or services. Normally and generally. Normally or generally. Unless otherwise specified for recipient to discharge. That is called reverse charge method. So my second point, you make a note of it. Chargeable section is section 9 subsection 1. And it is saying that for intrastate, within state, CGST and SGST. So if supplier is in Delhi and supplying goods to a recipient in Delhi, transaction would be CGST and SGST. But supplier is in Delhi and supplying goods to Haryana, Gurgaon, transaction would be interstate IGST. And chargeable section from interstate would be section 5 subsection 1, second point. In second point, I clarified another aspect that normally GST to be charged by supplier of goods or services unless otherwise specified for recipient to discharge, buyer to discharge. Can I get some example from my learned participants? What is the transaction which you see supplier is not charging GST? It's a recipient who is supposed to discharge the GST liability. Tell me. So Suganya coming back. Sarmista coming back. Yes, yes. Arpit coming back. GTA. Rajni is also coming back. Yes. These are called reverse charge. Section 9 subsection 3. Section 9 subsection 3. So this is the broad analogy I given to you. Now let me move further. Okay, Naveed, well done. First time I said Naveed is responding, Sarah is responding, Geeta is responding. Okay, I will come back. So this is called reverse charge. Now our main focus today would be what is supply, which is the taxable event in GST, right? Supply is being defined under section 7, subsection 1. One thing which I want to clarify here, that though we are learning GST, but for your understanding sake, the way the term supply is being defined in GST, it is subjective and inclusive definition. It is not correctly defined. That is what my interpretation. It is saying supply includes, without defining what is supply, the way it is being defined, supply includes. So first subjective, second inclusive. To my mind, in years to come, you will see by yourself litigation only on term supply, whether supply made or not made. We'll do certain case study. You just carry on with me. Supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both. This is the way it is being defined. Supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both. Just imagine by yourself, do we require anything else within the supply definition? If I say supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both, to my mind, we don't require. But still this definition goes further and say, Bimal, such as if exemplary. It includes sell, transfer, barter, exchange, licensing, leasing, renting, or disposal. There are 8 exemplary terms is being included in such as. But irony is, none of the term is defined in GST law. None of the term is defined in GST law. So you know that litigation which I'm talking about. Made or agreed to be made. for a consideration. So there has to be consideration that can be monetary and that can be non-monetary, both together, by a person in the course of furtherance of business. So this is the definition of supply under section 7 subsection 1 clause A. Let me do 3 practical case study and see how many of you has really captured this definition in a right way. The first one, let's say you are my client. You're my client. And I'm giving you the opinion. I'm a chartered accountant. As I'm being introduced, I'm giving one GST opinion to you. Free of cost, not charging any money. It's free of cost. So Bimal is a GST consultant, gave the opinion to a client, to you, free of cost. I did not charge any money. Tell me in a chat box whether GST leviable. Say yes and no. Tell me in a chat box whether GST leviable. So some of you are saying yes, some of you are saying no, and there's one participant, Anupam is saying ideally no. Anupam, there is nothing like ideal, logical. We have to give answer yes or no. So Mansi is coming back and saying, sir, it is not chargeable to GST because there is no consideration. Yes, Mansi, you're right. And everyone must make a note of it. If there is no consideration, no GST, because supply definition said made or agreed to be made for a consideration. If I have not received any money, that is not chargeable to GST. Hope clarified. Hope clarified. Let me convert this example. Second case study. I gave the opinion to you. You are my client. You are saying, Mr. Jain, I'm not having enough cash. At most, I can give you my watch. Whatever watch I'm bearing on my hand, I'm giving you this watch as a consideration towards opinion given by you. Now this watch is being given to me. Please tell me, now GST leviable. I have not received any cash, not received any money through bank, but I received the money in non-monetary consideration, in kind. GST leviable. Yes, Amir Khan, K. Srinivasa Murthy. Mr. Murthy, why it is not leviable? You're the only one who said not applicable. Whether this watch cannot be considered as a non-monetary consideration. GST leviable. Srinivasa Murthy, please tell me yes, so that I will, does not matter, it is a consideration after all. So GST leviable, second point. Coming to the third point, and very interesting. And this is the interesting way to see that. See, you are my client to whom I gave the opinion, and you are the person dealing into watches, You're the person dealing into watches. I will come back to Rajesh, just go with me. How to value non-monetary consideration, I will come back. You have to just go all along with me. You are the person engaged in trading of watches now. So I'm a GST consultant, Bimal Jain GST consultant. You are the person trading, engaged in trading of watches. You're in the business of watches. Now, you gave me one watch towards consideration for the opinion given by me. Now, here we have to look at a transaction, whether this is one to supply. Bimal Jain supplying opinion. Can I say exchange and water? Means you're exchanging, or barter. Barter means you are just, giving wattage in place of opinion. There's one supply or two supply. My question to all of you, please tell me in the chat box, one supply or two supply. Please, I'm looking for the answer in a chat box. One supply or two supply. So Rajani is saying one supply of opinion only. Yes. Anyone else, whatever answer coming to your mind, do not hesitate. Do not hesitate answering in a chat box. I really want that you should write whatever coming to your mind so that you should enjoy. Geeta is saying one. Rajesh is saying one. So Nibir is saying one. Mansi is saying two. Okay. Sandeep Path is saying two. Anupam is saying two. It is two supply. It is two supply. Bimal is supplying opinion. Consideration is watch. You are supplying watch. Consideration is opinion. This is called barter. Barter. I hope this answer which I gave to you will satisfy you. It is a part of supply. So tell me in a chat box you got it. Write in a chat box, yes, you got it. So I will understand, yes, you got this particular practical case study. It's a two supply. All right, all right, all right. Thank you very much. So my audience is learned today. They are really going all along with me. Now, section 7, subsection 1, clause A, I've done it. So Anupam is saying, will it be 2 even if I'm not in business of selling watches? So Anupam is looking to me more interactive and want to post queries. But Anupam, one thing you have to really, capture. The question which you posted to me, I've already responded. We have already responded. When you were not dealing into watches, Anupam, when you were not dealing into watches, it was not your business. That time I did not say two supply. I say only one supply. So supply of opinion for a consideration which is watch, one supply. But in case you're dealing into watches, then it becomes two supply. This is what I explained. I hope you all of you got it. I hope. So Anupam is saying, I was just rechecking. Rechecking to whom, Anupam? To me or to yourself? Anupam, see, I will catch hold of you. I do not know. I can't see you, but I will catch hold of you. I give the answer. Okay, so Anupam is saying I was rechecking myself. Hope all the participants got it. Very good. I really want you to enjoy today. So see, I'm not talking any technical provision, but I'm trying to make it more practical. I really want you must enjoy. Second, okay. Section 7, okay. Second, section 7, subsection 1, clause B. So see, I'm going one by one. I'm reading the provision, giving the practical case studies. I can do one thing for my participants today. I will share my mobile number. Whatever handmade note you are making, whatever handmade note you are making today, you WhatsApp your handmade note to me after my deliberation. Let me see how many of you have seriously taken down my point and reverted back to me. I will give you my mobile number. So do your task religiously so that I should also see that you were the really interesting and genuinely and religiously capturing my point. So, okay. So Suganya is saying done. Okay, so Anupam. Okay, Anupam, thank you very much. So you must enjoy. I know that a lot of professors are joining this program from Ramanuj College. You may not be that GST learned, but I'm trying to make it to your level so that you get maximum of it. Second provision. Section 7, subsection 1, clause B. Listen the provision first. Import of services for a consideration, and consideration can be monetary and non-monetary, whether or not in the course or furtherance of business. I'm repeating again, then I will throw my practical case study for your answer. Import of services mean when you're importing out of India, import of services for a consideration, whether or not in the course or furtherance of business, even though personal import of services for a consideration, GST leviable. So let me do two case study and let me see how many of you have captured this provision correctly. Let's say Bimal Jain in Delhi importing designing services from some Mr. A of USA. So Bimal Jain importing services, designing services from Mr. A of USA. And Bimal Jain going to use this designing services for his personal household property. So I'm going to use this designing services which I'm importing for my own house in Delhi. And I'm paying $10,000 to Mr. A. Please tell me, I'm going to use only for my personal purpose. There is nothing like official. GST leviable. Please tell me yes. If you really say yes, say yes. Yes, leviable. That is the provision says whether or not in the course of furtherance of business. Leviable. Yes. Let me change the example. Let me change the example. I'm importing same designing services from Mr. A of USA, $10,000. $10,000. Amir Khan, just pause. Why schedule one? I've not discussed as yet. Amir, don't jump. Go with me only. So I'm importing designing services from Mr. A of USA and paying $10,000, and I'm going to use for my business. I'm into architect business. I'm into architect business. Please tell me whether GST leviable. The first was personal, second was business. Of course, GST leviable. All right, well done. So all of you have passed. Now I need to complicate it. Sorry, because that is what the GST law. Of course, under reverse charge. So Lokeshwar S is asking, what Lokeshwar is asking, sir, who will pay GST? Of course, recipient, Bimal Jain. You cannot go to USA and catch hold of Mr. A. So import of services by Bimal Jain, you will take GST under reverse charge method from Bimal Jain only. Yes, Lokeshwar, no denial. Now let me complicate. There is one schedule 1, which is the part of section 7, subsection 1, clause C, which is the part of section 7, subsection 1. If personal use, yes, Rajesh, I said GST leviable. Rajesh Jasti, I said just while ago, whether or not in the course of furtherance of business. I said just while ago. Can I proceed further now, Rajesh? Okay, now listen carefully. So don't distract yourself. You will be able to get the maximum when you focus and pay attention. Now listen. Under section 7, subsection 1, clause C. There is one schedule 1, and this is, you can say, as an exception. In this schedule 1, there are 4 transactions. 4 transactions. Even though there is no consideration, even it is called supply and GST leviable. I'm repeating again. in schedule 1, there are 4 transactions, 4 entry. Even though no consideration is being paid, but still GST leviable, that is called deemed supply. Deemed supply. So these are the provision. You should not be questioning why these provision. This is the provision. Now, in that schedule 1, there is a entry number 4. The 4th entry which I'm discussing with you, which is related to that import of services. So what is that entry says? Entry says import of services by a person from his related person, or any establishment outside India in the course or furtherance of business. In the course or furtherance of business. I'm repeating again so that you can draw a line. Section 7, subsection 1, clause B says, which I already did it. I already done that, but I'm repeating for your, recapping the provision. Import of services for a consideration, whether or not in the course of furtherance of business. We have done that. Now this 7, subsection 1, clause B need to be read. Entry 4 of schedule 1, and schedule 1 I said even without consideration GST leviable. And what is that? Import of services by a person, say Bimal Jain, from his related person. So related person could be husband and wife, could be brother. I'm giving this related person definition exists, but I've given for an example, it could be husband and wife, it can be brother, or any other establishment outside India in the course or furtherance of business. So now I want to take your test. Your test starts now. If Bimal Jain has imported services from Mr. A of USA, and Mr. A is my brother in USA. So Bimal Jain imported designing services from his brother Mr. A from USA. I'm going to use this designing services for the purpose of business, for my business in India. And I have not paid $10,000. Bimal Jain has not paid $10,000. It is without consideration. Tell me GST under reverse charge, leviable. Say yes or no. Okay. All right, very good. So I could see there is some Dr. Bharti also. She has also responded. Geeta, because a lot of you are responding now. I'm happy that at least now we are enjoying. We are interacting with each other. Yes, GST leviable. Let me change the example. Bimal Jain importing designing services from Mr. A, who is brother of Bimal Jain, and not paying $10,000 also, but I'm going to use only for my personal purpose. It is not for official. It is not for business. I'm going to use only for the personal purpose. Please tell me, GST leviable? Not leviable. Aurobindo, you are incorrect, not leviable. Because entry 4 of schedule 1 says in the course of furtherance of business. Please, that is what practically I'm creating these examples. So no GST under reverse charge. Let me make some jalebi, some complicated, whenever we are teacher, we always try to make question in a circular way. so that student gets, they get something different and they tend to give the wrong answer. Let me try this jalebi kind of question. And question H, once again, Bimal Jain Importing Services from his related person, Mr. A from USA, and paying $10,000, and I'm going to use for personal purpose, no business, only for personal purpose. Tell me GST under as leviable. So Dr. Bharti, please do not get me fail. Anupam, do not get me fail. Suganya, do not get me fail. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. When consideration is there, Dr. Bharti and Anupam, Rakesh is also saying N now. When consideration is there, irrespective of fact, whether I imported from related person or non-related person, whether for business or not business, GST going to be leviable. GST going to be leviable. Please tell me, GST going to be leviable. Dr. Bharti, your say yes that you got it. Dr. Bharti, say in the chat box, yes, you got it. 7(1)(b) of CGST Act. Richa is saying yes, but I'm looking from Dr. Bharti now, because Dr. Bharti started responding back to me. So I really want Dr. Bharti must come back and say, yes, she got it. Yes, all right. So you all are really doing good job. Highly thankful to all of you. So Anupam, once again, so Anupam is not leaving me, saying something he will do, keep doing something with me. Okay, let me read what he has written in the chat box. Sir, practically one who is an individual who is not aware of the GST law is also required to pay for personal usage of import of services. Is it not this difficult to implement? Yes, Anupam, this is your right question. It is really difficult, and how the government will come to know? That would be the next question. Whenever you pay $10,000, RBI will capture your transaction. Pay provision will capture your transaction. I know that how the common man come to know. These are practically difficult for implementation, but this is what GST law. Anupam, I can't say, but I'm only saying when you're making payment of $10,000, that can be catch hold by department. You know, under income tax now, so much of tough provision is being made. Our foreign tour and travels are being captured. Our maximum withdrawal more than 2 lakh rupees are being captured. Government is doing lot many things now. They are capturing such transaction, but this is what the provision all about. So just I'm not going into that mud. Let's back to the GST topic. So we have done 7(1)(b). Now coming to 7(1)(c), I was referring to Schedule 1, and Schedule 1 was having 4 entries, 1 entry is over. 1 entry is over, entry 4 is over. Now the 3 entry left. We will do 3 entry one by one and complete, and then sure you will like it. And these 3 entries are more interesting, very interesting. Let's take the first entry. Permanent transfer or disposal of business asset on which input tax credit is being availed, even though without consideration, GST leviable. So just try to capture this transaction. I'm a company. I purchase 100 laptops for my employee usage. When I'm purchasing the laptop as a company, GST charged by the supplier, I've availed the credit in the books of company. I've availed the credit. After 3 years of usage, these laptops become obsolete. So what I did as a company, I have donated these laptops to some NGO. Donated without consideration, no money charge. It's a pure donation. So there is permanent transfer and disposal of laptop, which is my business asset, company's business asset. It is a donation, no money charge, but keep in mind entry 1, even without consideration. And on such laptop, at the time of purchase, I avail the credit also. Even though I'm giving on donation, no consideration charge, but because of entry 1, schedule 1, GST leviable. Tell me yes or no. I made it very, very simple. So your answers should be correct. Tell me GST leviable. Yes, GST leviable. So some guy says, I think. Who is I think? Oh, Bikas Kumar. So Bikas is saying GST leviable, but proportionately leviable. Yes, no denial to it. What Bikas is saying, sir, GST leviable, but proportionate, meaning thereby to the extent of unutilized period of usage. That should be GST leviable. Whatever I've used, that should not be paid. Only to the extent of unutilized time period, GST leviable. Now let's take second question, which is important, and every one of you has given right answer. So Rajesh Jasti, yes, donation is again transfer, but because of schedule 1, entry 1, it is taxable. Now let's listen second query. I will not give you the answer, but I expect that you should be answering me correctly. As a company, I got 100 car. I purchased 100 car, motor vehicle, paid GST. I have not taken credit because credit is not available as per section 17, subsection 5. Credit is not available. But I use such car for the business purpose, and these motor vehicle was my business asset. After 3 years of usage, I have donated these 100 cars to NGO. So I'm making very clear there's a permanent transfer or disposal of 100 car of my business asset. Of course, it was my business asset, but I've not availed credit on motor vehicle because of 17 subsection 5. I've not availed any credit. Now I'm donating these cars without consideration. I really expect right answer. GST leviable. Say yes or no. GST leviable. Okay. So Lokeshwar's Arpit, okay, is saying, okay, Arpit, you are the only one who made me cry. You're the only one. Richa, don't make me cry. Richa, please, please. No, I did not say inventory. It was business asset. Geeta Rani, it was business asset. I said business asset. Inventory is what? When you're purchasing and selling. When you're purchasing and selling, I'm not into the business of selling of motor vehicle. It is my business asset. No GST because no ITC availed. No ITC availed. So my answer is okay. Okay. So Richa has said, okay, there was another guy who made the mistake. What was his name? I do not capture. Arpit was there who made the mistake. Arpit, am I clear to you? Arpit, okay. All right. So everyone has recognized. Okay. There was no consideration, right? Just imagine a situation. I'm just making a little molding in my example. Had it been sold with some value, 100 motor vehicle sold on some value. Imagine some value is being charged. If value is being charged, then this is not the transaction of schedule 1, entry 1. If some value is being charged, then this will not fall under schedule 1 and entry 1. If some money is being taken, some transaction value is there for giving these cars to NGO with a GST leviable. Tell me, a simple, you say GST leviable if some consideration is being charged. Yes, No, Rajani, it is not 71B. It is 71A. Simple. Supply of motor vehicle made or agreed to be made. Normal supply. Yes, Suganya, normal supply for a consideration. In the course of furtherance of business, of course, these cars were taken in my business only. GST leviable. Hope done it. Okay, Sarah. All right. Come to now 71B. Can I just ask one question from all the participants? My first question, how many of you are really from Ramanuj College? Say yes only, so that I will get a feeler of it to what kind of audience I'm giving my deliberation. How many, if you're from Ramanuj College, say yes, so that I will assume that you are the,
So, faculty is not just from Ramanujan College. Faculty is any part of the India.
okay, all right. So how many of you are faculty? Say yes. If faculty, then say yes. Okay, so Aurobinda Datta, okay, Nupur, okay, Dr. Renu Agarwal, all right, okay, okay, Deepak, Dr. Bharat Patil, okay, all right, okay, Sarah, okay, I'm from Calcutta, Bekas Kumar, okay. So leaving aside professional, because professional, they are always listening to me and they're getting lot many opportunity to listen to me at number of platform. Being professor from different part of the country, you must be having fair amount of GST knowledge. But after listening to this extent, this much, I'm sure, and I'm just asking you, are you really finding that you're getting a maximum understanding of GST? Say yes and no. So professor, this question to the professors, pan India, that yes, GST getting simple, okay, 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 all right. Thanking Vijay, good, okay, all 7 days. Okay, all right, Anupam ji. Thank you very much, Lokeshwar ji. Thank you. Now let me take one more. Yes. All right, sir. Thank you. Okay, so Richa is saying I'm a CS professional student and we need teachers like you. Thank you, Richa, for being your teacher. Thank you very much. Okay, Srinivasa Murthy, today's session. Now the next question. And this is very interesting. I really want you to focus and pay attention. And this will clarify much of your doubt surrounding GST. So we will do maximum 2 case study. And then we will close at 2:15, 2 o'clock, 2:15 at most will close. I will open question answer session. Yes, Vijay, I will give my number as well. Don't worry, Vijay ji, you're vice principal of some college. I will definitely share my number and look forward for your that handmade note to my WhatsApp. Definitely, yes. Okay. All right, Bikash ji. Listen now, two case study more. Only 2 case study, and then we will relax, go for your lunch, have your food, rest yourself, being Sunday, enjoy your day. Listen now, 2 more case study. Entry number 2, schedule 1. Schedule 1, again, no consideration. Supply of goods or services without consideration. Schedule 1, without consideration. Between related person or distinct person. Who is distinct person? I will tell you. In the course or furtherance of business. So if there is supply of goods or services between related person or distinct person, even though no consideration, but it is in the course of furtherance of business, GST leviable. This is what the meaning coming out. So with the practical example, we must try to understand all this thing. Let's say I was having 2 factory in pre-GST regime, I was having two different central excise number, even within same state, So let's say Delhi, I was having two factory in two different place in the state of Delhi and was having two different central excise number. Post GST, when GST got started, GST said, Bimal, now you need not require to have two separate registration. You can take one registration and include both the factory into that one registration. This was the GST concept. And GST further say, Bimal, if you want to take two separate registration for the factory, both factory in same state, you can take if we are having different business vertical. So one factory manufacturing refrigerator, one factory manufacturing color television. They have given me option, Bimal, you can take two separate registration. Now, in this case, what is the understanding which I'm telling you? Please listen very carefully. If I have taken one registration for two factory in GST regime, then these two factory will not be called distinct person, will not be because they are into one registration. First, had I been taken two separate registration because of business vertical or different place of business, A factory separately registered, B factory separately registered, and both are in same state, then they will be called distinct person. Distinct person. This is the concept of distinct person. Now, why I'm discussing? Let's take this example. In pre-GST, we used to do stock transfer of goods, not sell, stock transfer of goods. So A factory stock transferring goods to B or B to A, whatever may be the situation. Pre-GST, there was no VAT leviable on stock transfer of goods in pre-GST. In GST, as per entry 2 and schedule 1, GST leviable only when supply of goods or services between distinct person, even without consideration, in the course of furtherance of business. Hope you got it. Now my question starts. My first question. If these two factory registered into one registration, so no separate registration, so they are not distinct person. If supply of goods stock transfer made from A to B and they are not distinct person, no consideration, GST leviable. Write in the chat box, yes or no, whether GST leviable, not leviable. Yes, well done. Not leviable, and sent on Delhi Challan. Well said. Had they taken two separate registration? Had they taken two separate registration even within the same state? Now stock transfer of goods by A to B, GST leviable. Yes, GST leviable. Yes, perfect. You rightly said GST leviable. All right, tax invoice, quota, Santosh Kumar. Agreed, GST leviable, no denial. Now the next concept. Let's assume I was having two factory, but in two different states, one in Delhi, one in UP, Uttar Pradesh, pre-GST, having two separate registration, central excise registration. In GST, it was stated that if these two factory in two different states, then they have to take separate registration. It cannot be under one registration if they are in two different states. So two separate excise registration, in GST also two separate GST registration, because in two different states. Now stock transfer made from A factory of Delhi to B factory of UP. Distinct person. GST leviable. Tell me, GST leviable. All right, all right. My next question, Dr. Bharat Patil. Yeah, Dr. Bharat, listen carefully. Vijay, Rachna, Amir Khan, listen. When I've taken separate registration within same state, within state of Delhi, separate registration. So A factory of Delhi supplying goods to B factory of Delhi only, but separately registered. What is chargeable? C plus S, CGST and SGST, or IGST? So your answer would be C plus S or IGST. C plus S or IGST. Manu, don't say CGST. C plus S. Intrastate, always C plus S. Yes, yes. And when A registered unit, yes, quota of Delhi, stock transferring to B of UP, B of UP. Tell me then what is applicable, C plus S or IGST? IGST leviable. All right, all right, all right, all right. Now next concept. What would be the valuation? Both are my unit. None is paying to none. A is not giving anything to B, B is not giving anything to A. Both are my unit. There's no consideration. But there has to be valuation. There has to be valuation. What valuation need to be followed? Listen carefully. There's a CGS. Listen carefully, Sweta. Now just pause. I will request Dr. Renu also. Just pause and listen carefully. When I ask you questions, you then reply to those questions. Just listen very carefully. When I'm stock transferring from A to B, and both are my unit, and B is not paying any consideration. So what should be the valuation? If I go to CGST valuation rule, it says valuation should be normally they're saying open market value, like, kind and quality, 110% of cost of provision or residue method. But whenever it is happening between related person or distinct person, which is the case, rule 28, you can just take down rule 28 of CGST rule is important. Rule 28 of CGST rule is important. What rule 28 says? Rule 28 says, Mr. Jain, Bimal, valuation would be then either open market value, like, kind and quality, 110% of cost or residue method, and there are two proviso. And these proviso are very, very important. Very, very important. And listen carefully so that you know best of it. First proviso says, value for A unit would be 90% of selling price of B. If B unit is selling the goods as such with no value addition. First proviso saying A unit can adopt 90% of selling price of B when B is selling the goods as such. This is the only provision. Listen now. Let's assume 70 rupees is my cost of production for A unit, which I'm stock transferring from A to B. So this is the example for you to answer. Cost of production 70 rupees for A unit. A unit stock transferring to B and B is selling at 100 rupees. B is selling at 100 rupees to independent customer with no value addition. So open market value is 100 rupees. Proviso say Bimal, A can adopt 90% of selling price of B when goods are being sold as such. So there are three prices before you. 70 rupees cost of production, 100 rupees open market value, and 90 rupees, which is the selling price as per the proviso. Out of these three prices, you have to choose which one is correct. And as per proviso, which one you should be adopting, 90 rupees or 70 rupees or 100 rupees. Please tell me. Write down in your answer. Okay. So some of you are still making mistake. I do not know for what region. Geeta Rani also made mistake. I do not know for what region. Answer is 90. Those who have given 90 rupees as an answer, they can clap themselves. They can say, yes, we have given the right answer. And those who could not, listen carefully. I told you that proviso says, Bimal, you can follow 90% of selling price of B. Selling price of B is 100, so 90 rupees can be adopted. So in first proviso, this was the answer pertaining to first proviso. Answer would be 90 rupees. Geeta Rani, am I right? Please tell me in a chat box. Yes, sir, I got it. Tell me in a chat box. Got it. So those who have given 70, like there's one sir, I can't, there's one Srinivasa saying 70. There's one as such, I don't know. So Srinivasa also made mistake. There's some who has said 100 rupees. Those who have given 70 and 100, tell me in a chat box. Now they got it. Now they got it. Yes, all right. Listen now. Second proviso, very interesting, very interesting. Second proviso. When ITC available to recipient unit B, so whatever GST charged by A, if credit is available to B, then second proviso says, Bimal, any price picked up, I said any price picked up by A would be considered as a deemed open market value. So second proviso of rule 28 is saying, if B is entitled for credit, ITC, A can pick any price, and that any price would be deemed open market value for chargeability of GST. Now, I said the theory part of the provision, theory. Now, my question to all of you, can unit A take rupee only one, only rupee one, where B is entitled to avail credit? Is it possible? Say yes or no. Tell me in a chat box, say yes or no. Yes or no. Whatever answer coming to your mind, say yes or no. Okay, so Sweta is again saying no. Okay, so Suganya is saying no. Proviso 1 should not be considered. Proviso 2 is also saying that if ITC available to B, then A can pick up any price, even rupee 1 below 70 rupees, rupee 1. and credit is available to be possible or not possible. No, Anupam, do not jump to your part. You are not only one person to whom should I respond now. I'm looking from all the participants that yes, rupee 1 can be adopted. Rupee 1 can be adopted. This is my answer. Rupee 1. And why? Listen carefully. Very interesting, and you will love this study for your understanding of GST. Listen very carefully. GST is a destination-based consumption tax. So GST must accrue to the state where ultimately goods and services are consumed. Keeping in this mind, A unit of Delhi stock transferring to B unit of Haryana, charging IGST. If I take second proviso, which is saying that A unit can take any price, and that shall be deemed as an open market value, like 1. So on 1 rupee, A will charge GST, let's say 18%, then 9 paisa and 9 paisa, 18 paisa IGST charge to B unit. B unit will take credit of 18 paisa charged by A unit. Now B is going to sell the same at 100 rupees as per the example which I have taken. So B unit has to discharge GST 18 rupees. 18% calculated on 100 rupees, 18 rupees minus ITC of 18 paisa. So balance he has to pay in cash. So credit of 18 paisa utilized for discharging 18 rupees liability, balance amount to be paid in cash. And when the B unit selling within the state of Haryana, they will charge CGST plus SGST. Now look at why this second proviso. Second proviso is being kept in a mind. When ITC available to the recipient unit, then government is helping that there should not be working capital blockage in the hands of B, because A and B are under same PAN number. If A can pick up any value and charging GST, which is 1 rupee, to that extent, the problem of working capital blockage can be reduced. And whenever these goods are being sold by B, B will use only that portion of credit which is being charged by A, and balance will pay in cash. So helping the distinct person to done away with the blockage of capital, working capital, because they are distinct person. They are distinct person. Ultimately on 100 rupees, GST is being discharged. Had it been 90 rupees first proviso, then A unit must have applied 18% on 90 rupees, of which B unit has taken credit. And when selling at 100 rupees, they would have discharged GST on value addition of 10 rupees only. So in both the proviso, helping hand, second proviso. And second proviso is helping a lot. No working capital blockage. So as per me, I'm asking one question. Can I follow rupee 1 second proviso? Possible or not possible? If possible, say yes. If not possible, say no. Tell me in the chat box, possible or not possible? %100% possible. 100% possible. Second proviso is not applicable only when. Second proviso is not applicable only when ITC credit is not available to the recipient unit. So picking up rupee 1 is not possible only when B unit is not entitled for the ITC, input tax credit. And why so? So I cannot pick rupee 1. At most, when A is stock transferring to B, and B is not entitled for ITC, input tax credit, then the questions come, what would be my arm's length pricing? Arm's length pricing. So question goes back to you. It can be open market value, like, kind, and quality, 110% of cost of provision, or residue method. So keeping these parameters in mind, either it should be 100 rupees, 100 rupees again, like, kind, and quality, 77 rupees, 70 is the cost for A unit, 10% is the cost of provision, so 110% of cost of provision, and residue method. Please tell me, if credit is not available to B, A has to stock transfer. What at most it can be picked up? 70, 77, 90, or 100? Please tell me. So question to all of you, 70, which is the cost, 77 is the 110%, 90 is the 90% of selling price, and 100 is the selling price to the customer. Please, whatever answer coming to your mind, I'm making you free. All of you are free to post your query and post your answer, whatever you have in your mind. Okay. Before I answer, let me make your position wiser. 70 is my cost of production at unit A, right? If I send goods which is on which credit is not available to B, it is talking about 110% of cost of provision, 77 rupees. B unit will not take any credit because they are not entitled. And subsequently, when they are selling at 100 rupees, we have to see whether taxability exists or does not exist. But answer in this case would be 70 is the cost, 110% cost of provision, open market value and like kind will always be 100 rupees. To my mind, at most, it would be 110% of cost of provision to avoid any dispute and litigation, 77 rupees. 77 rupees would be my answer for when credit is not available to B, age pricing to B on stock transfer of goods. This would be my conclusion. Now, having said all this thing, I just want to have answer from all of you. Have you understood it? Say yes in a chat box. Yes, you got it. It is fair price. 77 is a fair price, and that's what at most. Have you got it? All right. So, Anupam, for simple region, why it will not be 90? 90 is applicable when we are talking about credit is available. If you charge on 90, are you not ending up charging GST on 90 and not getting credit because B is not entitled to avail ITC? So it is not advisable. It should be only on 77 to minimize your cascading effect. Otherwise, what is the benefit? So 77 would be the answer. Now, I'm almost at 2:10 and we are just reaching to nearer to our closing part of it. I got one more concept left, and then we can hand over. Dr. Ansika, can I take 5 minutes more and then question
Yes,
answer
sir.
session?
Yes, sir.
Only
Yes,
five,
sir.
only 5
Yes,
minutes,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Please, please.
Only 5 minutes, last
Yes, sir.
deliberation, and then you all are free to ask your query. There's one concept called composite supply and mixed supply. What is the composite supply? Composite supply means 2 or more taxable supplies, naturally bundled in conjunction with each other. Then that combo would be taxable on the basis of principal supply. Keep it in mind. So keep it in mind, then I will do one deliberation, and then this concept would be very, very clear to all of you. 2 or more taxable supplies naturally bundled in conjunction with each other, then that combo would be taxable on the basis of principal supply. And mixed supply means 2 or more supply and a single price, not naturally bundled, not naturally bundled. Then that combo would be taxable on the basis of highest rate of that particular supply in that combo. To explain to all of you, let's say you are coming for repairing of car. You got your car and your car got damaged. You are coming to me for getting your car repaired. For repairing of car, I'm using auto component 8,000 rupees, GST rate 28%. 2,000 rupees is my labor charges, GST rate is 18%. Total combo taxable. Now this combo is having 8,000 rupees auto component 28%, 2,000 rupees labor charges 18% GST. So I'm charging total 10,000 to you. I'm asking this question to all of you. You came to me for getting your car repaired. I'm charging 10,000 rupees, out of which 8,000 is the auto component, 28%, supply of goods. 2,000 rupees, my labor charges 18%. If I'm going to charge you, at what rate I'm going to charge you, 28% or 18%? As a supply of goods or supply of services? Okay, Dr. Bharat Patil. Okay. I think I need to repeat little bit here. Little clarity. You came to me for getting car repaired, am I right? Your objective was getting car repaired, right? You never intended to purchase auto component from me. You never intended. But auto component were incidental for the provision of repairing services. So there are 2 supply. One is auto component, one is labor charges. Naturally bundled, no denial. But the principal supply was repairing services. Principal supply was repairing services. That's what you intended. You never intended to buy auto component. You never intended. You only wanted to have repairing done. And for that, I've used 8,000 rupees auto component. Whether auto component can be the principal supply? No, it will continue to be repairing services. Whole combo would be taxable at the rate of, please tell me, at the rate of 18%. 18%. Whole combo would be taxable at the rate of 18%. Yes, yes, that is what the meaning. That is what the analysis. Second one. What is mixed supply? You're purchasing one gift bouquet from me, gift bouquet. And gift bouquet is having chocolates, aerated beverages, some fruits, some vegetables. Diwali gift. Now you're getting this, gift book, and gift bouquet 5,000 rupees, which consists of 5% rate item, 12% rate item, 18% rate item, 28% rate item. But I'm charging under single price 5,000 rupees, which could otherwise be available individually also. This would be called mixed supply. And mixed supply taxable at the rate, highest rate of that combo, which is 28%, highest rate. Okay, so Mansi, Sweta, Rakesh, Gupta. Now, listen, last one. So I made little analysis of composite supply versus mixed supply. There are lot many things which I could have continued and which I have not touched today. I want to give you two important things here. Those who are professors pan-India watching me and listening me, first you take down my mobile number because you have to send your handmade note. You said that you all are going to send me your handmade note. Let me see your handmade note, that to what extent you have done religiously today. My mobile number you can take down 98-106 04-563. Hope you have noted down. Send me your handmade note. Let me see, and I will also give my feedback, my answer to all the professor. As you used to give the marks to other, let me give marks to you, that to what extent you did it today, first. Second, in case you want to get yourself, shall I repeat again? Let me type it down so that you can get. I'm typing here, 98-106 04-563. See, in chat box, can you see? Oh, it is going to all panelists. Sorry, let me do for all attendees. Let me do it now. 98-106 04-563. Now it is going to all attendees. Can you see that? It is to all panelists
Yes,
and
sir.
attendees.
Yes, sir.
Going to all. Now there is one query which is being asked by some, sir, can repair also customer can choose not to buy some item and will not be a mixed supply? See, in repair, car repair, there is no choice. If some auto component need to be replaced, can you make your argument that I will not buy this? No way. For repairing, if auto component needed, either you have to provide him or he has to use the auto component from his inventory. So there's nothing like choice available. It cannot be mixed supply. It is naturally bundled. These auto components are naturally bundled. Some Mr. Sam is there. I do not read his name or her name. So that is my answer. That in composite supply, no choice left to you. Now, I given my mobile number to all of you. Anupam is saying, so sir, can we say composite supply GST will be at the rate of principal supply? Yes, that is the answer I gave to you. And that was my answer. Now what we can do, second, you can also follow me on my Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn. And my YouTube channel is also there. You can watch my number of other videos. So maybe this is the beginning of our relationship with each one of you. And you can see my videos and on GST on number of topics. So I am the person from GST. Let me tell you, I'm specialized into GST. I only do GST. I take my breakfast, lunch and dinner with GST only. That is what normally I do. So you will get maximum my vibration in GST only. Mr. Raman, you can always go back to Google. Now Google will tell you who is this Bimal Jain. I have never introduced myself. Dr. Sanjeev ji has introduced little bit. You go to Google and type Bimal Jain, B for Bombay. You will find who is this Bimal Jain. That will be introduction. So I've done through with my presentation, thanking each of the professors, all learned community, that they have given your precious time to me for listening on Sunday. I know that Sunday is a little busy with your household work. When you're married, then I know what kind of compulsion we carry in our mind. So these are part and parcel, but I tried my best these 1.5 hours, 2 hours to make it more interesting. And I have tried my best. Hope you must have liked it. and want to carry on my relationship with each one of you. I'm open for any query in case you want to ask. Handing over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a great presentation. Being a GST faculty, I learned a lot. I'm surely gonna use many of your examples in my classroom teaching. These days, virtual mode teaching. And now I request Dr. Purushottam Arya for the formal vote of thanks, sir. Sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks of this session. I, on behalf of the Ramanujan College and Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to you, sir. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to you for this session. You explained the topic supply and deemed supply under GST in a very lucid manner and given various case-based examples. The way you explain the topic is exemplary. Your extemper come lecture is nothing less than real classroom experience, where you have taken all the queries in real time and interacted with participants very well. This is very much mesmerizing. I believe all the participants have thoroughly enjoyed the session, which is very much visible in comment section as in appreciation and thank you notes. Personally, this is my first experience to know about this topic and learned it a lot. I'm sure all the participants have taken note of your valuable inputs and will be considering in their academic work. I also wish to express my gratitude to our team for providing encouragement and support. Thank you, Sanjeev Singhal sir. Thank you, Dr. Anjali Gupta ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Ansika Agrawal. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And to all the participants, we are closing for this week. Now we will meet on 7th.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I guess we can close this and
Yes, I'm closing it.